A quiet bedroom at night. Clock ticks softly. Digital display shows 3 a.m. Narrator gentle, mysterious tone. You weren't dreaming. You weren't disturbed by noise yet. Here you are again, awake, alone, and watching the same numbers glow in the dark. It doesn't feel like fear, it's not panic. Something a stirring. A stillness that feels louder than any sound. This isn't about insomnia, it's something else. Elderly woman sits up in bed, holding a cup of water, gazing out a window into the night. Narrator, maybe you've told yourself it's normal, just part of aging. Or maybe you've stopped asking why, you simply accept that this art belongs to you now. But what if this art isn't random? What if there's meaning hidden inside this midnight silence? The body is never quiet without reason. And when it wakes you without warning, without a dream, it may not be breaking down. It may be speaking up. A slow zoom into a peaceful room, pillows undisturbed, air still. Person sitting awake in calm tension. Narrator, everything in nature moves in rhythmed tides. Seasons, breath, sleep, and your body has its own internal rhythm. An ancient cycle that doesn't follow your watch but follows function. Each hour of night, something different is at work. Healing, detox, repair, processing, and when that rhythm is disturbed, when the pattern is broken, your body notices long before you do. A person stares into the dark ceiling, hands resting calmly over their stomach. Narrator, you don't just wake because you're restless. You wake because something is working and sometimes struggling, because even while you sleep, your body is busy processing what the day couldn't, filtering what the mind forgot, balancing what the world unbalanced. And when that process meets resistance, it opens your eyes without a sound, without a reason you can name. Split screen of the same person. One side is asleep peacefully, the other waking at 3 a.m. over and over. Narrator, there's a moment between sleep and wake where truth lives, and in that moment, something familiar whispers to you. It could be your breath, or digestion, your thoughts, your memory, your grief. Not all pain shouts, some just stirs quietly in the dark, and every time you wake like this, it might not be what you think. It might be your body or your soul trying to finish something left undone. Older man turns off the fan, sits at the edge of bed, head in his hands, thoughtful, not exhausted. Narrator, some people wake with HEAVINESS. Others with clarity, some with tension, others with questions, but almost none with understanding, because we were never taught to listen to the hours of the night. We were taught to fear the dark, to silence the body, to drug the symptoms. What if you paused and listened, what would the silence say? A close-up of a journal page titled 3 a.m., again filled with personal notes and thoughts from multiple nights. Narrator, there are patterns. Your body has been whispering them for years, the same time, the same thoughts, the same unshakable awakenings. And while most brush them off, you're here, still wondering. That alone means you're closer than Mosto finally. Understanding why, because the night doesn't just hide things. Sometimes it reveals. Elderly woman walking to her kitchen, not to snack, but to breathe, to sit, to think. Narrator, in this hour, your mind is not clouded by the noise of the world. There's no TV, no phone, no responsibility, just space and a quiet message rising, It could be emotional, It could be physical, It could be both. But whatever it is, it's real. And if you've been waking consistently, the message has been waiting long enough. Zoom into the body's inner systems, organs glowing in the dark, energy pulsing gently through them. Narrator, think of your body as a house, each room with its own light, its own purpose, and each night, those rooms take turns turning on, cleansing, repairing, balancing. And when a light flickers to bright, when a room struggles to do its job, it wakes the whole house, and you, dear soul, are the one standing in the hallway awake, not broken. Just aware, more aware than most. The night gradually turns to dawn. The same person, once restless. Writing, calm, accepting. Narrator, you didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for meaning. Why now? Why this hour? Why you? And the truth is you're not alone. Not in this pattern. Not in this question. But you are unique in your willingness to ask. To explore. To face the messages your body sends without fear. Without frustration. With curiosity. Because maybe, just maybe, waking up like this is not the problem. Maybe it's the beginning. A soft-lit hallway at night. A man slowly walks past framed photographs of his life. Each one holds a memory. Narrator, gentle, emotional tone. Every night holds a memory we haven't finished processing. Something we thought we let go of, but didn't. Something we pushed to the side during the day that returns in the dark, not to harm us, but to complete its circle. You don't wake because of noise. You wake because something inside you still has something to say. An older woman sitting at the edge of her bed, not tired, just still. A long pause before she blinks. Narrator, you've made it through decades of life. You've handled grief, joy, change, loss. You've adapted. You survived. But surviving isn't the same as healing. Sometimes the body chooses its own to remind us what it carried. Not in the middle of a meeting. Not during dinner. But at the quietest time. When it knows you'll finally hear it. A slow motion shot of a man walking out into his porch at night. Exhaling deeply into the stars. Narrator, you keep waking up in isn't a curse. It's a window. A sacred time where your body and mind try to meet. To or ECALIB or ATE. To reconnect. Not all wake-ups are meant to be fixed. Some are meant to be understood. And once you understand, they often go away. A glowing digital clock. It changes from 3 o'clock to 3:01. Silence remains. The world sleeps. Narrator, this isn't about losing sleep. It's about rediscovering awareness. Because while others sleep unaware, you become the observer. You've noticed the pattern. You've asked the question. And asking alone is strength. Clarity. Bravery. Most people ignore these signs. But you haven't. And that makes you different. A kettle boils softly. The same person prepares a warm drink, not out of habit, but intention. Narrator, there's something spiritual about stillness. When you embrace it, not resist it. When you stop fighting the waking and instead ask, what now? That's when it shifts. That's when the body feels heard. And sometimes it's not about going back to sleep, but going back to you. Back to balance. Back to listening. Back to trust. Softly animated. Overlay of internal organs, each glowing faintly as night progresses. Narrator, at night, your body repairs what daytime damaged. Repair requires order. It requires space. And when something is out of sync, you wake. It could be digestion. It could be your breath. It could be tension in your neck, tightness in your chest, message in your spine. Everything that happens while you sleep happens for a reason. And when the rhythm breaks, the body taps your shoulder. A close-up of hands gripping the edge of a blanket and letting go slowly, exhaling. Narrator, you don't need to panic. You don't need to fear the clock, because this is not about age or decay or decline. This is about rhythm. Your rhythm, deeper, wiser one that's been with you since the day you were born. You used to cry at night as a baby, not because you were weak, but because your body felt everything. Now it speaks more quietly, but no less truthfully. Fade between young version of the same character and older self lying in bed, both waking at night. Narrator, you've woken at this hour before, not just recently, but in seasons of change. In moments of loss. After big decisions or unspoken emotions. This time isn't new. It's familiar. It's part of the cycle. And instead of resisting it, you started recognizing it. That's how healing begins. Journal opens on the left. Words. Oh, what did I feel when I woke? On the right. What did my body need? Narrator, this moment is an invitation. To record. To reflect. To release. Not everything has to be solved tonight. Something can be noticed. And noticing in a world that rushes past itself is a form of quiet power. A person places their hand over their heart, eyes closed, breathing deeply, calmly. Narrator, next time you wake, don't reach for your phone. Don't get frustrated. Don't distract yourself. Just breathe. Feel. Acknowledge. And know that something inside you is working it against you, but for you, you are not broken.